Hey everybody, it's Danielle here from DKW Styling. If you are new to my videos, what I typically like to do is I do hair and I specialize and educate on a hair extension method I created called natural beaded rows. But on my videos, I like to post one usually about every week, and I like to talk about hair tips or trends that I'm loving, and also I usually do some kind of a look of the week. So today I'll talk to you a little bit about my look first, and then I also wanted to go in and share, I don't know if I have any hairstylists that watch my videos and like my work and things like that, but I kind of wanted to share with hairstylists out there what's kind of helped me to kind of take my business to the next level and work less but make more. But first I'm going to talk to you about my look of the week. Okay, so today I am wearing like a really bright neon sweater, and this is just from Forever 21. I love it. I thought it was cute and fun for this time of year. And then I have this mint green necklace on just from Anthropologie, which I'm loving these two colors together right now. Now, if you're gonna wear like a bright neon something, like tone it down. Like I just have it on with some basic jeans and some neutral shoes. I feel like between the necklace and the bright sweater, that's enough of a statement. So that's kind of my look. Today my hair, I just kind of was not really kind of wanting it up and out of my face. So I did like a half up hairdo. I'm gonna turn around so you can kind of see it really quick. But basically, I was gonna do a tutorial on my hair, but it was so easy. I figured every girl would probably know how to do this. But I just took the sides and I kind of, I took two sections up top and put them in a small elastic, and then took two more sections, put them in a lower elastic, and then I just kind of flipped it around. If you watched my video last week, I did some no-wash hairstyles and tips, and I did a side ponytail where I kind of flipped the ponytail through. So that's what I did with these two little ones, and I stacked them right on top of each other. I think it just makes it more interesting to look at from the back. And then I kind of wanted more of a boho look, so I pulled out some of the hair around my face and just ran my curling iron through them real quick. Sometimes when I'm pulling my hair back, now I wear hair extensions all the time, but I'm such a big fan of hair. I wear hair extensions, I wear clip-ins, I wear anything. And I don't know if you guys have gone to Sally's Beauty Supply, and there's so many clip-ins available out there, but I was at Sally's and I'm like, this is like the color of hair that I typically order for my hair extensions. And they come in a package. They are, I don't know, you can get them at Sally's, but this is the ones that I got, and the color is just called Blonde Frost. I would say if you know hair extension hair, it's like an 1822 as far as the color goes. But anyway, sometimes when I wear my hair half up, I have a few of these clipped in underneath my extensions because I kind of like how it gives it sort of that endy, piecey look. And when you have your hair pulled back, I feel like it doesn't look as full. So I just clipped in, a couple of these underneath. A lot of times I'll custom make my clip-ins if I want more hair on the clip. And I also have a few videos on that, on how to make your own clip-in extensions. Okay, so I want to talk a little bit specifically to hairstylists out there and share a few tips that have kind of helped me in my own business. Number one, my first thing is take pictures of your work. It always helps you improve. It helps you see your work, and you'll always be able to build a clientele based off the current work that you're sharing with others. Another thing that I recommend doing for hairstylists is I'm surprised how many hairstylists don't use a semi-permanent line. My favorite semi-permanent line is Redken Shades. Now, I use a ton of shades. In fact, I don't usually typically weave with a permanent anymore. I use a lot of shades. I feel like a lot of people use Redken Shades specifically to tone hair, and to me, they're basically just rinsing their money down the sink. So I would recommend find a semi-permanent line, figure out how to use it, and stop rinsing your money down the sink. I love doing what I call the smudge technique with a semi-permanent. I love foiling with a semi-permanent. I also love toning with a semi-permanent. So that's another tip that I want to share with stylists out there. Another thing that I would recommend is to know your value and your potential. So I know that we have our clients and they come in and we pull out the little card and we have their formula written down and we have it all mixed up. I would recommend stop doing that. I like my clients to come into a chair because we all know that hair color fades a little bit different, and honestly, my clients love that I mix it up every single time. So throw away those cards that you've been writing everybody's formulas down and look at their hair. Look at their hair as it's, your work of art. Look at it like what you want to create on it and what you need to tone down or tweak or whatever with their color. And I can promise you that your client will love that when they show up that their color's not already pre-mixed for them. And if this means raising your prices because you need to have more of a consultation, I believe you should do so. That a lot of our clients, if they had more quality of time, they wouldn't mind if we raised our prices. One thing that I would recommend to stop doing is stop double booking. I personally don't like double booking because I feel like it creates anxiety in my clients. Even if it's just a men's cut in between the color, if you're doing any kind of a lightener, you know, you really shouldn't be under the dryer for more than probably 10 or 15 minutes, depending on the texture of your client's hair. And if I'm your client and I have fine hair and I'm sitting under the dryer, I feel like I get a little bit nervous knowing that are they done with that men's haircut? So I would recommend raising your prices and stop double booking, because I promise your clients will appreciate it. Another thing that I wanted to share with you guys is pretend like when your client sits in your chair that that's you. And you want to know what your limits are and what you're capable of. And so the best way that helped for me is the minute I have a new client sit in my chair, I imagine it's me. Would I do anything, you know, on my client that I wouldn't do on myself? And if the answer is no, I choose a safer alternate route. I think we need to know, it's important to know how hair lifts and deposits color. And if you don't know, you need to educate yourself better on that for your client. The minute I started thinking as my client as my own self, I felt like I started getting better results. I was conservative, but I also got good results. So that's the other thing is I would recommend. If you have a client who's trying to describe to you what they want, and you're like, oh, I know this isn't gonna look good, communicate that to them. Tell them this is, you know, this is not gonna look good. If they're like, my hair pulls red, you're like, everybody's hair pulls red, because if you're not an ashy blonde, anytime you're lifting hair, what's the first color it goes to? Red. Remember that little color wheel we learned in hair school where it goes red, orange, yellow, white? You know what I'm talking about. So I think it's funny when clients come in and they tell me my hair pulls red, and I'm like, well, that's because you're naturally dark. Everybody's hair pulls red. So it's important to educate your clients on how hair lifts and let them know what's possible with their hair, instead of doing their color and saying, oh my gosh, that's so weird. I didn't know why your hair turned out that way. Yes, you do. You know the science behind hair. So do what you would do if it were you sitting in that chair that you know is safe, that is also going to give your clients the results they want. And if that means being very honest with your clients, that's what you need to do. That's just kind of some tips and tricks that have helped me communicate better with my clients. And a lot of times too, every now and again you'll get done and you're like, wow, like the placement of the foils, or it just didn't turn out as best as you wanted it. Then tell your client, say, you know what, this piece is driving me nuts and I'm gonna tone it down a little bit. And don't act like, oh, that, you know, good luck, see you later, I hope you like your hair, when you know they're looking in the mirror, you're looking in the mirror, and both of you guys are looking at that big gold piece right in the front and you're like, we need to tone that down. Tell them that. Say, oh, I'm gonna tone this piece down really quick. Make it sound like you did it on purpose. You know, send them out the door and make sure that you're happy and they're happy. You know, and communicate well with your clients. I also think it's important to be confident when you're doing hair. I think that our clients, when we pick up on their anxiety, they can also pick up on our anxiety, and they're nervous if you're nervous. So when you're doing that initial consultation, I want you to come up with ideas for your clients. I want you to look at their hair and say, this is what I would do if your hair was my hair, because it eliminates any anxiety and it makes you sound more confident in your work, which you should be. Now, I specialize in educate in hair extensions, and a lot of people, other stylists who do extensions, they ask me, Danielle, how do you get so many extension clients in the door? Because a lot of us know that extension clients, I mean, typically you can't get out of a salon for less than $1,500 for a full head of extensions. So the problem there is a lot of stylists that do extensions, you know, maybe they're not doing as many because there's a certain price point that not all clients will pay that. So for me, I feel like my extensions are a little bit quicker, so I've made them a little bit more affordable for my clients. I still feel like extensions are expensive and high maintenance, but if you can make it, you've got to know your price point in which your clients can meet you at. I feel like I said, I've made my extensions expensive, but I want my clients to be able to continue to maintain them. I don't want it to be just a first time or a one-time experience. I want them to be able to come in every 6 weeks and get their extensions done with their color. And that's how I personally do so many hair extensions, is because you have to have a good price point and you have to know your market in where you live at. You don't want to completely price yourself out of the market or you're not going to get any business. One thing that I recommend to all, new hairstylists, old stylists, or anybody who comes and trains with me is start your own blog, start your own website, start your own YouTube channel, build an online portfolio. If you have enough work, eventually it's going to help increase your clients. I think it also takes a little bit, especially with hair extensions for me, with posting before and afters and things like that, I feel like it helps me to attract the right client. They've already gone through my website, they've seen my before and afters, they already know they are interested in my work. And so I feel like it already builds a little bit of trust there. So I recommend for all hairstylists, you've got to build a website, a blog, a following of some sort to build trust and communication between you and your client. And also it's kind of fun to see your work evolve over the years. So anyways, you guys, this is kind of a lot of information. Tune into my videos each week. I'm going to try and share more tips with hairstylists. I really want to get my education going this year as far as extension training classes and things like that. So check out my blog or my website for more updates and things like that at dkwstyling.com, and visit my blog, or you can subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more hair tutorials, tips, products, my look of the week, and things like that. All right, you guys, we'll see you next week.